Hey everyone and welcome to the club. Today I'll be showing you how to draw an Inkling boy from Splatoon. Let's get started with the eyes. I'm going to start on the left side with a curve for the upper eyelid. So I'm going to start on the outside and just curve down and in. We're going to leave a gap in the center and do the same thing on the right side. Just curving up and out. We want to connect those 2 points with a curve that just blends in between the eyes. Starting on the left, I'm just going to scoop it down and just pull that back up on the right side. Now from here I want to round this out and come in toward the inside. So we're going to take these points, curving down towards the bottom, and I'm going to pull this back up, leaving a little bit of space in the inside. Let's do the same thing on the right. We're starting on the inside, leaving that gap, curving down and out. Now we're just going to pull that back up towards the top. Now we're going to draw the iris and pupil just pushed in towards the center. So on the outside here, we start on the top, we're going to curve around, almost like a half circle, coming in and blending in towards the inside of the eye. Just circling around, and then just blending it towards the inside. We'll do the same thing on the right, starting from the bottom, curve around, and pull that up towards the top. Now I want to draw a smaller half circle for the pupil. So we're going to step in, just trace the inside, pulling that back up. We'll do the same thing on the right, leaving that same gap, curve around, and then pull that back up towards the top. Let's fill those in black. Now let's go in and draw the outer edge of the mask. So we're going to start at the very top right here. We're going to curve around, just tapering it down, just around the bottom of the eye. We're going to pull that back up and round out the top. Curving around, pulling that in. Now we're going to round out the top in the middle, and then go back over towards the right side. Curving around the eye, and then just pulling this around towards the top. Let's go ahead and fill all that in black. Now just in between this little curve here, we're going to draw the nose. So starting with the bottom of the nose, we're going to draw almost like a little U shape. And then at the top, right up here, we're just going to draw a little curve in the opposite direction, just for the wrinkle in the top of the nose. Let's move down and draw the mouth. So directly below the nose, right here, we're going to draw a little point. I'm going to curve up and out towards the left. And then we'll curve up and out towards the right. Just below the mouth, we're going to draw a little curve for the lower lip. Now from here we could draw in the lower part of the head. So we're going to start on the outer edge of the mask, curve down towards the chin. So on the lower part of the mask right here, we're going to curve around and just pull that in towards the center. We're going to pull that back up on the right side. Let's move back up above the eyes and draw on the large eyebrows. So starting on the left, we're going to start on the outside edge, just lined up with the outside of the eye. We're going to curve in and then just pull that down. We'll do the same thing on the right. Just starting on the inside edge of the eye, curve up and then out. We're going to round out the top, curving up and in on both sides. Now we're going to take those points and curve down towards the inside point. Now let's go in and draw on the top of the head. So it's basically a big half circle that goes up to the top. We're going to draw this pretty high. So we start on this side of the mask and just curve up around the eyebrow. And I just want to keep my eye on my right side. So just going to the top of the head and carefully rounding this out and then pulling that in towards the side of the mask. Now let's go in and draw in the hairline. So we're going to start with a curve from left to right, just above the eyebrows. curving up. I'm going to round this out and pull it in towards the side of the head. So curving around and then pulling it in just beside the eyebrow. We'll do the same thing on the right. Rounding it out and pulling it down. Let's add the little pointy ears on the side. So right here, just in line with the top of the eye, I'm going to curve down and out towards the left, curve down and out towards the right. Now we're just going to curve these in just below the bottom edge of the mask, right towards the side of the head. At the top of the head, we're going to draw a little curve for the head strap. On the left side, we'll curve up in the middle and then back down. We're going to add those little bubbly little tentacles on the top here. So from this corner, we're going to step up. We're going to curve up and over towards the right. Now we're going to round this out and then just pull it back in on the right side of that headband. Just down here, we're going to show a little bit of the second one. So right down here, we're going to curve out and then pull that back into the side of the head. We're going to add some spots at the top here. So we're going to start with one circle, draw a slightly bigger one, and another smaller one here. And maybe we'll add one medium-sized at the bottom. Back here, we're just going to add two. One tiny one, and then one slightly larger. Okay, so we got the head. Let's work our way down the body. So I'm going to start with the sides of the body first. So on either side of the chin, we're going to curve down and out. Right down towards the bottom of the shirt on both sides. Now I'm going to connect those 2 points with a curve. On the right side here, this little tag. So I'm going to draw 2 short lines going up, and then we'll close it off along the top. Now I just want to draw a little bit of a trim at the bottom of the shirt. So I want to make sure it goes about halfway up this little tag. So just drawing a little trim in behind the tag, and then back up on the right side. Up underneath the chin, we're just going to draw on the collar. So stepping in from the side of the body, curve down, and back up on the right. I'm going to draw a very simplified logo in here. So I'm going to start with a square box. Starting on the left, just underneath the collar, go across, come down on both sides, and then across the bottom. We're going to step up and draw a line going across. Now I know there's some text in here, but we're just going to go ahead and fill that all in black. You can add the detail if you'd like, but I'm just going to fill that all in for simplicity. We're going to add that little curving arrow on the side. So about halfway along this box, we're going to go up to the top, and we'll come down. Take this top, come down with a short line, then from the bottom we'll go up. Now from this top corner, we're going to curve down towards the bottom corner of that box. Up here, we're just going to follow that same curve. Now about halfway along the curve, I'm just going to draw an angled line. We're going to fill in the arrow black. And then in here, we're just going to draw another curve right in the middle. Let's move to the sides and draw on the shoulder strap. So from the side of the body, we're going to step out, and we're going to curve and taper in to about halfway down the body. Right about there. We'll do the same thing on the right. Curving around and then down. We're going to step up here and just draw a little straight line across the straps. Let's keep working our way down toward the legs. So in the middle, just down here, we're going to draw a curve from left to right for the lower torso. Now on the left side, we're going to step over towards the right, curve down and out. We'll do the same thing on the right side. Now this is going to end up merging in with the boot. So from this point, I want to curve in and then down towards the heel. Do the same on the right. We're going to curve the bottom of the feet. So from the heel to the toe, draw a big curve. Do the same thing on the right side, making sure they're the same length. Now going back to the left side, we're going to draw in the top of the foot. So I'm going to take this point, curving up to the top. We're going to aim towards the heel, but we're going to stop about halfway. Curving up to right about there. I'm going to take this point, curve up, and then back down towards the top of the foot for the tongue of the shoe. It's like a little half circle. Now from that point, I want to curve up and in towards the edge of the shoe, going out. Let's do the same thing on the right side. So taking the toe, we're going to curve up, aiming towards the heel. We're going to stop right about there. From this point, we're going to draw that big half circle for the tongue of the shoe. And then from this point, I want to curve out towards that little corner there. Now we're going to tuck the outside part of the legs in behind the shoe. So from this hip area, this little point here, we're going to step in, curve down and out towards the top of that tongue. Do the same thing on the right side. Curve down and out. About halfway down the leg, we're going to draw a little curve for the bottom of the shorts, from left to right. And then below the shorts, on the sides of the leg, I'm just going to draw a little curve, just for the kneecaps. Now let's go in and add some detail to the shoes. So I'm going to take this curve and just duplicate it right up above, just to add a little sole. Now from this corner of the tongue, we're going to curve forward towards the toe. We're going to draw that twice. So we're going to step in and just trim it out. At the front here, I just want to add some laces. So we're just going to add 2 lines going across. Let's do the same thing over here. So from this corner of the tongue, curve forward, step in, draw that twice. Now right in here, we're just going to draw 2 lines for the laces. I want to add that little stripe along the shoe. So right here, curve towards the heel. Take that point and just taper it down. Let's do the same thing on the right. So lining up the top, curving down, going back to the side of the shoe, and then we'll curve it down. One more bit of detail at the top of this tongue here at the curve. We're just going to taper it down toward the bottom. Do the same thing on the right side. Now that we've got the center part of the body, let's move to the outside and draw the arm. So I'm going to start with this arm first because it's just going to be hanging down in a fist. So from the corner of that strap, I'm going to curve down and out. From here, I'm just going to draw a small half circle for the thumb. And at the end, I'm just going to draw a little bracket. At the end of the thumb, at the bottom here, we're just going to swirl around the bracket and just pull that up. I'm going to come down, draw another curve going up for the second finger. Now the third finger is going to go all the way up towards that corner of the strap. So we'll curve it out and curve it right in towards that corner. On this little wrist line, I'm just going to curve it down and across towards the outside of the arm for the sleeve. We're going to step up just below the strap here. We're going to draw another curve for the t-shirt sleeve. On the left side here, I'm going to have him holding his little cannon. So we're going to start with that first because it overlaps the arm. So I'm going to angle the cannon slightly over this way. So we're going to start with 2 straight lines. On the outside, I'm going to draw 1 line coming down. I'm going to duplicate that over here. So we want to determine the width of the gun. I'm drawing 2 angled lines. I'm going to connect the tops with a curve. Just blending it into like a half circle. Do the same thing on the bottom, going in the opposite direction, curving down, and back up on the right side. Let's add that little strap in here. So right up here, we're going to draw a curve. Do that same curve just below, right down here. At the tip of the cannon, we're going to draw 2 angled lines going out. One towards the left, and one towards the right. We're going to close that off with another curve. Up in here, let's just add a little trim, a little curve like that. At the top, we're just going to add a little half curve, half circle. Now, before I draw any more detail here, I'm just going to tuck in the arm behind. So from that corner of the strap, like we did on the right, we're just going to curve this in behind the cannon. And then at the top of the strap, we're just going to curve in behind the cannon. Now I'm going to line up this sleeve on the left side, just curving in behind like that. Now right up here, I just want to add the tip of the hose. So we're going to draw another little half circle going around the top like that. In behind the character, I'm going to draw a large water tank. So we're going to angle it this way. So you're not going to see all of it, but we're going to start at the very top here. We draw an angled line going across. We're going to follow this behind the body, in between the arm and body. It's going to come down here. We'll probably stop right about here. Now here, I just want to imagine a curve for the bottom of the tank. So on the side of the leg, we're going to curve up. We're going to go to the top and curve in the opposite direction, in behind the head. Now from here, I just want to follow that same angle, going up behind the body. Going in behind the hand, in behind the body. We're going to add a little cap at the end, taking this curve, and we're just going to duplicate it. On the top, we'll do the same thing. Just like that. And that's pretty much it. There we have it. There's the Inkling boy from Splatoon. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. Make sure you subscribe and send us your requests in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.